It's all about shrimps, simply shrimps. Good day everybody and welcome to this video. Now before we get started, I hope everybody is safe and well. So I've snuck into the Simply Shrimps HQ, which is of course my garage, and where do we begin with this video? It's been so long and we're finally going to be starting making progress on the garage conversion into a shrimp room. But before we get into that, there's a few things I want to get across. I've been really busy working inside the house, so we've pretty much finished the kitchen now. I'll show you a couple before and after pictures here. I'm really proud of how it's come out, considering kind of 99% did it myself, single-handedly. So if anyone wants a kitchen doing, you know who to call. Not me, because it's going to take a year to finish. We've also been sorting through a lot of possessions and stuff in the house to try and get rid of things to charity shops, but they've been shut, so you know, it's taken its time. Also been working on the downstairs toilet, which is a little bit gruesome, but here's a couple of before and after pictures. I'm really proud again of how that's turned out. Still, there's a few finishing touches, like a little bit of siliconing left to do, and some plastering and stuff, but really happy it's actually functional now. It just doesn't have a door on it. But that's alright, because we're not supposed to be having guests around, right? Wow. There's a lot of traffic going by. It's making this video really hard to film. So over the last couple of weeks on my days off, I've been clearing out the garage, making rooms so that it's a blank canvas and we can get cracking on doing everything we need to do in here to make it suitable for setting up Simply Shrimps HQ. However, there is one elephant in the room, and by elephant I mean 5-foot aquarium, which we haven't got anywhere in the house to put it, and quite frankly it's not going to stay in the garage because I want to utilise the space with smaller shrimp tanks. So unfortunately I'm going to have to get rid of this. So if you do want this tank, genuinely, if you are interested, leave a comment down below and I'll be in touch with how we can liaise on getting it over to you, payments and things like that. It will come with the filter, the light, the stand, the tank, heaters and all that, so it's pretty much ready to go. So I suppose the easiest thing for me to do is to flip the camera around and walk around with you, show you everything that needs to be done categorically, sort of like this needs doing and then this needs doing and then this needs doing kind of thing, into actually converting the garage. So let's flip the camera around now. You'll have to forgive the bad quality because it's very dim light in here. At the moment we've just got this one bulb up here and I'm using a head torch just to help light up the garage, because we don't actually have electricity in here apart from lighting. Though we do have electricity in here, but I'll come on to that later on. Yes, all very interesting and fun stuff. Let me just give you a spin around so you can see the whole room in its entirety. There we go. Nice little 360 there. So I suppose the first thing we're going to talk about is this brand new door. Well, it's not actually new, it's about a year old, but I've not been active on YouTube, so I haven't posted about it. But I have done a video about it, and I need to finish it off because there's still a few sort of finishing touches of siliconing in here, maybe a bit of mortar as well to fill up the gaps, and just tidying it off. But there is a video coming out about how this door was changed from the old crappy wooden one. Oh, good times. After the door and after we have gotten rid of the 5-foot tank, we can then begin progress on insulating the garage. Now, there are 3 things that need insulating: the floor, the walls, and the ceiling. In terms of the floor, we have a bit of a dilemma, because I can't actually raise the level up too much because I'm 6'2", and the height of, well, the total height space only goes up to about 7.5 foot without a tape. Oh, I've got a tape measure. Let me measure. So from the floor up there, let's go down, give a rough estimate. You can see, oh, twisty. So that is 7 foot. And as you can see here already, I can touch the ceiling with still a bit of a bend in my arm. And so if I was to raise it up a few more inches, I'm on my tiptoes now, there's an even bigger bend, and if I was to have lights on the ceiling, it's just not practical. So I'm gonna have to think about what I'm gonna do. And what I think I'm going to do is, I'm going to put down a damp-proof membrane to stop any water rising up, and then I'm going to put on some underlay. So very quick, it's going to be like underlay, underlay, boom. And then on top of that, I'm going to do a rubber matting, which is good for water resistance from any splashing from the aquariums going on it. And also rubber is a very good insulator, so that should help stop any heat loss through the floor to a degree. That's kind of the best I can do. Oh, also a hold back on doing insulation on the floor is the door. Let me show you what I mean. So the bottom of the door here, you can see I don't have that much play. I've only got about an inch, so at most I could do maybe sort of even like 20 mil of insulation underneath to bring it up to this first ridge here, and then it's just going to be a trip hazard coming in if it's any higher, because obviously this is where the door opens. Then we move on to the walls. Now this is only a single brick wall, so this is the inside of the brick, the outside of the brick is outside. There's no cavity or anything there. And here's a bit of a support here that they've done inside. So my plan is to do studding. So I've got to do a stud wall all the way around to come out to the thickness of this. So this is roughly 10 millimeters, not 10 millimeters, 100 millimeters, 10 centimeters. So I need the studding to fit that, and then I'm going to use 10 centimeter insulation. I was going to say millimeters again. If we look up here, I already have some insulation. This is just scrap, so I'll be buying fresh sheets. This is only 50 millimeters, 5 centimeters. So effectively 2 of them stuck together, or one bigger one I can get hold of. That is going to easily fill out this gap here. Again, I have to come up with the whole process. So stud the walls, put the insulation in, and then I have to put a damp-proof membrane again, or a vapor barrier, to stop any condensation building up and the transfer of water inside and outside of the building. So there's so many sort of like regulations and things you need to think of, and well, I'm really enjoying sort of researching into it, and I've been planning this for years, so to actually get onto it, I'm really excited. Now we do also have a garage door. So that's going to be a fun one to block up. So basically what I'm going to have to do is, sorry guys, just getting distracted, got myself some hair here. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one. So what I'm going to have to do, let me turn the light off and show you what I mean. You can see all the light coming through here and down the side here. That's obviously, you can see that from the outside. So I'm going to have to put some sort of spray expandable foam in there to block up all those holes and gaps and just really seal it shut. So that is no longer going to be an access point, that is going to be a dud door, so to speak. And then I'm going to have to put a stud wall in front of that, a false wall, just to help sort of block it off even further, and then I can put the insulation within that. Once that's all said and done, I then have to think about the aesthetics of the inside. How do I want it to look? Now this is where I need your guys' help. So I was thinking, once all the insulation's in, it's all done, I'm going to be putting some plywood on the front just to give it a nice flush cover. What then should I do? Should I put cladding on it, or should I do a plastic sort of white, medical, almost like sterile look? I'm really unsure. What I was actually thinking was stripping a load of pallets, which is gonna take blimmin' ages, and then screwing them all in as they go up. So it's gonna have a nice rustic look. That's what I'm thinking of. What would you recommend as the finishing touch? Shall I just leave it as the plywood and the sort of paint over it, or plastic, or pallets? Let us know in the comments down below. Not thumbs down, give it a thumbs up. Thank you. While I'm on the topic of insulation, check out all these boxes here. Now, as some of you are aware, I do work in a fish shop, and this is what our frozen food comes in. So I have literally been saving these for about 2 years, possibly even like 2.5, 3 years. So if you do the maths, you can work out how many we've sold. But anyway, I've been keeping these because these are great little polystyrene boxes. And instead of putting them in the rubbish, I'm going to upcycle or reuse them. Come on, break apart. Might need to use my knees for this. There we go. It's free insulated packaging for sending shrimps in the post. Look at that. See? Save the planet, guys. Reuse when you can. Don't just chuck everything in the bin. Got about over 100 of those. We've mentioned the floor, we've mentioned the walls and the end garage door, now onto the ceiling. And this is a prime example, as I was mentioning earlier on. So these rafters here, they are 15 centimeters high. So the plan is to use 10 centimeters of insulation, same as the walls up here, wedge it in, then do another damp-proof membrane over the top of that. And then I'm going to use plastic sheeting on there just to help with any sort of evaporation, because it tends to go up and condensate on the ceiling. So by using plastic, it'll be easy to wipe down, not going to get any rot or mold or anything on wood. I can already feel the heat. It's a nice sunny day here in the UK and I can feel the heat there. Whereas you come down, it's a lot cooler. So yeah, definitely got to insulate that so we don't lose any sort of heat in here during the winter, and keep the cool in the summer. So once that is done, we're going to be so close to actually being able to install the racking systems and put the tanks in and start filling them with shrimp. However, there's still a few more things we need to do, i.e. electricity, plumbing and central heating. Yes, that's right, I've got central heating coming into this garage. Let me show you those. So if we look on the wall that partners up with the house, down here is our central heating system. So these will be the hot water pipes. One's the inlet and one's the outlet for going back up to the boiler. And yes, so we're just going to be basically plumbing a radiator onto that, or maybe not a radiator, maybe sort of an under plinth heater which has a fan on it, because we'll want circulation in this room just so there's no sort of still spots. Again, it helps with the reduction of sort of damp areas and mold building up. So the more circulation, the better. So yeah, either a radiator or an under plinth sort of fan heater that is plumbed into the central heating, and then it will blow all the air along the bottom up the middle where the two racks will be on either side. If we then go into the other corner, here is the fresh water pipe. So we've got a cold water inlet here. And yes, so this is basically going to be the source of all the water changes and things like that in this room. And then above it, I plan on putting a sort of desk here. So this is going to be the bagging up station here, and the water will come up. I'm going to have a sink round about here. I'm then going to drill into this wall here and have the wastewater go out there and then into the kitchen drain, or the main house drain, which is that way. Let me show you outside quickly. So it will come out here. Ignore the rubbish. And then here is the drain ready for it to go into. So now we're back inside the dingy garage. As I was saying, this is where the main water comes in. The wastewater will go out there. I'll have a pipe coming up here, sink here, hot and cold tap. I'll use a sort of small little boiler system for the hot water in there. Gonna have another tube coming off round here. And then this is where my RO, reverse osmosis water, is going to be stored. I'll have the filter and stuff on the wall there. So the water feed will be going into that. Coming up the wall here, we're going to have a sort of normal water filter, sort of carbon filter, to take out all the chlorines and heavy metals in the water, to go over to my Neo Carradina setup. And then on the right hand side is going to be my Carradina setup. So they'll have a steady flow of water coming in, and the other side will have a steady flow of reverse osmosis water here. It gets very technical very quickly, so I will be making videos on them as they happen. Trying to describe it it's quite hard because there's so many different variants and stuff, but yeah, stay tuned for when those videos come out along the way. Also in the same corner, we've got the fresh water coming in. We have the electricity. Now this is 6mm cable, capable of doing cookers, and in my intention, another consumer unit fuse board, which is going to be, this cupboard's going to come off the wall. Let me move the camera back a bit. So this cupboard is going to come off the wall, and then here's all the wire stored up into a fuse box, junction box at the moment, just to kind of keep it safe. The fuse is turned off on the fuse board in the main house, but yeah, so there's going to be a consumer unit on the wall there, and then I'm going to have different sort of fuses on that for different things. So I'll have new lighting system coming up so I can have some strip lighting, keep it nice and bright in here. Gonna have all the system lightings on the aquariums on one fuse, so if one of them goes, I know it's one of the lights, so basic electrics there. Electrical sockets as well, because we're still gonna need those going all the way around, just in case I need to add heaters. The idea is I'm gonna heat the room as opposed to each individual tank, hence why I need good insulation. And then that's it. We'll actually be ready to set some aquariums up, put some shrimp in them, and yeah, start making some regular shrimp content. So much love to you guys who have stuck with me, considering I've been inactive for pretty much the last year. So one-handed prayer, sort of. Thank you very much. Love you all. And yeah, if you did like this video, subscribe for all the other updates and the conversion of this garage that's gonna come out. Hit that like. And don't forget to let me know down below if you've got any comments or suggestions that I should do, things I need to look out for. Have you converted a room, a shed, a garage before? Let me know your experiences down below. And hopefully I shall see you in another video very soon. If not, pester me, tell me to make a video, give me a kick up the backside and get me proactive. Because yeah, I want to and need to get this done. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.
It's all about shrimps, simply shrimps. Let's keep things shrimple, simply shrimps. Do 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 do. Yeah!